Alright guys, Hayzink here, welcome back to the channel for another Street Fighter Duel video. And no, you have not clicked on an old video. You probably think you may have because you're seeing Cammy and Vega, okay? It's not an old video, okay? It does refer to SEA, however, it is a little bit of a... I'm calling out TOPJOY. I know you guys think I like to call out TOPJOY. Maybe I do, to a certain extent. But I am kind of doing this for the sake of one player who I feel sorry for, okay? And the reason I feel sorry for this player is this player made a post on the Reddit talking about what I'm about to talk about, and I don't think they explained themselves very well because people immediately jumped to the wrong conclusion, thinking he was saying something that he wasn't saying, okay? I'm going to show you the two images and I'll tell you what this player said, okay? He said, I think this is totally unfair and I'm actually calling TOPJOY out for this one, okay? And he showed two images, which was this and this, okay? So this and this. And a lot of people were kind of commenting back saying, what do you want? I mean, what, you got an event? Are you complaining about getting an event? Blah, 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 blah. Global just got this event. We don't get a lot of notice. That's not what the guy's saying. The guy is not one person picked up on this. Have you guys picked up on what it is yet? Let's just look, okay? Okay, now, for those of you not in the know, because some of you might not be in the know, I am going to explain it to you now. Starlight. SEA have never had Starlight. Starlight has now been introduced to their game. And they're still not giving it to the players! That's right, they're still not giving it to the players. By this point in time, we had started to get Starlight, okay? We had started to get it through our logins. It made the game a little bit more accessible for the free-to-play. It made things a little bit easier for you to slowly build up characters, to keep you engaged, to keep you going, and they're just not getting it on the SEA. I am going to echo this person's sentiments, and I'm going to say that yes, absolutely, I think TOPJOY deserved to be kind of called out on this one a little bit, because, right, let me just explain this one to you very, very quickly, because some people will, I can already tell what some people's argument might be here. I think now, when did Luke come out? Luke came out, what? We got Luke came out about, what, 3 months ago? That was their 6-month anniversary, okay? So they're now 9 months into the game. Now, I can't pinpoint exactly when they started adding Starlight to our rotation for the countdown, okay? I don't know if it was before or after Summer Arena, but I feel like it was round about then. So I think we started getting Starlight after about 6 months, okay? Now, the reason that happened is because they hadn't introduced Starlight to the game. Starlight for us was a late addition to the game, right? Now, some people might think, okay, well, we had to wait a little bit for it after it was launched, because I think it was launched into the game, and then it was probably a month or two after it was launched into the game that we started to get it into our countdown. So what some people might be saying is, well, it just got launched into their game, maybe in 2 months' time they'll start to get it through their countdown. That doesn't matter. And the reason I say it doesn't matter is because they have done things differently over on the SEA version of the game. They haven't treated SEA, for good or for bad, they haven't treated SEA like they did the global version, okay? One example of that is we didn't start getting copies of units for free as part of the event until, I believe it was Oni. Was it Oni? It was either Oni or Elena. It was one of the two of them, right? But one of those two units was the first units that we started to get copies of for free during the event, okay? And that, as we now know, from me just figuring it out 2 seconds ago, was like 5-6 months into the game, right? So our first good bunch of units, which was Evil Ryu, Akuma, Goken. Was that it? I think that was it. Evil Ryu, Akuma and Goken. There might have been more, but I think it was those three. They didn't have any copies. You didn't get any of them with the unit, with the event, okay? You had to summon every single one of them. Their first event, putting aside Monster Hunter Ken, who actually had a better system than we had, they immediately got 2 copies of Akuma through the event, because TOPJOY had established, okay, we're going to give players free copies of units, it's better for the players, we're going to give them along with the events. They didn't make them wait 4 months like we had to wait, they gave them straight away, okay? So them now introducing Starlight into their game, which we can see here, there's zero reason for them to just now go, okay, well, we made Global wait 2 months before we would give it to them, we're now going to make SEA, we're now going to make them wait 2 months to get these for free. That's nonsense, okay? Because let's be completely honest here, right? Let's be completely honest. This is a rougher version of the game, right? It is, hands down. SEA is 100% hands down a rougher version of the game. They've made things more difficult, okay? Now, putting aside things like what people call character nerfs, which I disagree with, okay? New characters, if you've never had a character, if they take that character and they maybe reduce things like, instead of doing 75% additional damage, it does 50% additional damage. Basically what they've done is they've learned from Global that they released that character too broken, and they have kind of downgraded them a little bit for the version of the game that you've got, essentially, over in SEA. But technically speaking, the character's not been nerfed because you never had the character, so your character never changed. A nerf kind of happens after the fact. You get something, then they change that something. That's like a downgrade to something you've already had, then it's nerfed, okay? But because they never released it, they just depowered it a bit before it was released to that region. It happened with us, like from TW. There was characters in TW that fundamentally function differently from Global. We can't say that our characters were nerfed because they were just released differently, okay? The kind of nerfs, if we want to say the word nerf, that they have made is when they've taken things from their kit, as in units who I would not exactly call powerful in the sense of Flameadon powerful, if that makes sense. But I'm talking about, mainly I'm talking about one character. I'm talking about Beast Zangief, right? What they did to Beast Zangief for this version of the game was pretty damn awful, and it would pretty much stopped a lot of free-to-play players progressing at the same kind of speed. Then there's other things like they changed the monument so you can't hit quite as high levels quickly and stuff, which ultimately doesn't actually make as much of a difference as you think, because basically when we hit monument level, was it 240, you get all your stuff back, you immediately reuse it all, and then you hit 260. Round about that, right? So essentially those 20 levels, it doesn't really matter because everyone gets them anyway, right? I know that might not make a lot of sense to you, but all it does is you just jump 20 levels. If it's happening to everyone, no one's essentially missing out over anyone else, right? I guess it just slows progress a little bit, but I think ultimately we can all agree that the SEA version of the game is a bit of a downgrade. From a player perspective, it's a bit of a downgrade, especially if you've tried the global version, our version of the game. So to then take the one thing, the one shining light that most people actually enjoy, or that most people would actually argue made the game a better experience, which is the free-to-play Starlight that we would get from logins, and to just seemingly not give it to them, I think that's pretty poor, and I do think that TOPJOY on this occasion definitely deserve to get called out. So if you are a player who plays on SEA, my heart goes out to you, I feel for you, but for some reason either you guys are viewed as a cash cow, which makes no sense because I've seen the revenue totals, and I mean SEA doesn't exactly bring in a load of money, so I don't really get why they think milking those players is a good idea. I don't know player numbers, so you guys can tell me things like Boodle Battle and stuff. Do you get good numbers? Because for some reason they just feel like you guys don't deserve to get the same level of, we'll call it rewards, as global players, and to be honest I don't see the reason for it, and I don't think it's very fair. So yes, TOPJOY on this occasion have decided we are going to finally give Starlight, Chaotic Starlight, to our SEA audience, except we're not going to give them to them, we're going to charge them for them, and as it stands right now, it doesn't look like you're going to get the nice little freebies that Global gets every single month, which if we actually have a look, you can see that literally right now, Starlight, we get one a month every month without fail, you know. So I can see why an SEA player would put a post up like that, hoping to gain a bit of, I guess, support, and I think the players have completely missed his point. To be fair, he didn't make a very good point. He did just actually say, I'm going to call TOPJOY out for this one, and he put up the 2 pictures. Most people should have been able to figure out what he was saying though. I mean, why else do you think he showed the countdown? You know, and then showed that Starlight are now available. But to the credit of people on that Reddit, perhaps they didn't know that SCA didn't have Starlight up until this event. I just think it's a bit shitty. Give them some Starlight, TOPJOY. I mean, come on. It's just not as if you give them a lot of stuff. Give them some Starlight. Yeah, some people will say that, oh man, they get 50 tickets, we only get 15 tickets. Answer me this. Would you rather have 50 tickets or 15 tickets in a Starlight? I would rather have 15 tickets in a Starlight. But I'll let you decide. Anyway, I've been Hayzink. Was this a moan? I don't know. I feel like I'm doing a service to a poor wee guy who's not getting much support on the Discord, on the Reddit. But yeah, SEA sucks. Really, I don't know why they decided to downgrade that game so much. But yeah, it's not as good. Yeah, it's not as good. It's like comparing... It's literally like comparing the South Park thing, a turd sandwich to a giant douche. I'm saying that we're the turd sandwich and we're actually better than the giant douche. So, like, I'm actually now saying that their version isn't as good as our version, but our version's not that good because there's just so many things. Oh, anyway, next video is going to touch on that. It's actually a bit interesting. You're going to think I'm just here to moan. I'm not. I'll explain this and I'll go over this. Catch you in the next one. Peace.